No? Yes? What's going on, guys? It is at last the day before the ride. Hopefully the internet doesn't cut out. It probably will. I'm trying to get as close as I can to the door, but I wanted to fill you guys in on what's been going on. It's ready to go. I am 100% exhausted. This has by far been like the busiest week I've ever had here at the shop, just because of deadlines, man. Just because of I had a couple buddies who needed some work done on their bikes for the ride, and I went them the ride, you know. So between Valkyrie carbs and rim lacing and tires and forks and all this stuff, man, I've barely been able to even touch on this bike, but it's ready to go. I ran into some problems, of course. It still has some minor things that will have to be worked out after the ride, but it is rideable. When I first got it ready to ride, which was about 2 days ago, had it running and started, and went to shift it into first gear, stalled. Alright, started back up, give it a little bit more gas, shift into first gear, stalled. Double checked my clutch adjustment, because the clutch adjustment on this can be kind of finicky if you don't know what you're doing. So I just double checked it, took all the free play out of the cable, as much as I am is a healthy amount, and tried it again, stalled. I said, dang man, this clutch is stuck. Like, the clutch is 100% stuck. So the only thing that I could really think to do, that I've gotten knowledge from like my boss and stuff like that, was just get a running start, shift it into gear, and it was off. I mean, clutch was doing nothing, so I was rev matching and shifting up into third. As soon as I got up into third, up and around 5 grand, I just stomped on the rear brake real quick to almost kill the motor and try to stall it out. And sure enough, I slammed it right around 6 grand. I'm not saying that this is a good thing to do, so this is not my advice for you guys who have stuck clutches. This is a last minute ditch effort, because I do not want to take the cover off to open up this clutch. Third gear, 6 grand, stomping the brake pedal real quick, and the clutch broke free. And it worked perfectly after that, and it's worked fine ever since. So that was awesome. I'm so glad that worked out. It's not charging. I unplugged the regulator on it just to see if I can get any spike to the battery. Zip. So another problem. It's not going to stop me from riding, but it's another problem. Starter is completely shot now. The starter will no longer start the bike. I cleaned it out the first time, but it's going to need to get rebuilt and lubed up again. And then I had a shifter problem. Okay, so a lot of times on the CB450s, these kind of bikes, what can happen is the shaft that runs all the way through the motor to where you actually shift, it can actually wear into the casing. Alright, I'm sure some of you guys, older heads, know what I'm talking about. They also can have detent issues if the detent's bent or something like that. When I shifted down in the first, the shifter would not come back up as if I wanted to shift in the second. It just kind of stuck down. I shifted it up in the second, and it just kind of held there. And once I tapped it back down, it kind of worked again, fine. Shifted all the way up into fourth and fifth, and on my downshifts, it was shift down, and I could not downshift anymore. It was not returning back so I could get that other shift. So that was nerve-wracking. But a couple of small things that I did, just some slight adjustments to the actual shift lever, it's going to work fine. And it's actually working better than it ever has. So it's just some quirky things about the bike, but it runs like a top. I thoroughly enjoyed the ride that I had with it the other night. I'm going to ride it home, because tomorrow morning I'm waking up at 9 to get dressed and then take off and meet some guys at the shop for the ride. But it's all together. I mean, it is a Picasso color scrambler. And I'm totally okay with it, to be honest with you. But so as I go through the clutch stuff, I'm sure I will show you guys that. I know it's not, man. It's awesome. I have the bay door open, so I was hoping that would help. But I'm ready for the ride. I'm super pumped about it. Thank you all you guys for following me on this CL450 journey. I know this video is not that exciting, but I just wanted to, I know I had some guys asking me, hey man, is the bike gonna make it, and this, that, and the other, so I wanted to fill you guys in. And I just been so good. I'm exhausted, man. I've been here late till like 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock every night for the past 2 weeks. I'm tired. So I'm gonna go home and get some rest. That's why I'm doing this early. And me and my good friend Carter, we're actually gonna try to shoot some cool footage of this tomorrow with our GoPros and kind of make a collaboratory video that I would, once it's edited down and some cool stuff added to it, I would love to share it with you guys to show you guys what took place. Get this man a beer. Thanks, G. J-E-J. But that will be really cool, that video. So get this guy an ice house. Inside joke. But yeah, so the GoPro footage, that will hopefully turn out awesome. We're gonna try to have 2 different frames going and put that together and show you guys just how fun it was. And maybe next year you'll think about building yourself a bike and getting into it and supporting this cause. I actually reached my goal. Like $1,000+ were raised on my behalf. Sponsorships from other people from all around the world. I thank you guys so much for everyone who actually donated and who are with me in spirit, and with everyone who actually suffers from prostate cancer as well as male mental health. This is for you guys. So thank you again for all the sponsorship. That was super awesome. I never thought I would reach a $1,000 goal, and I totally did. And it was a huge blessing to be able to just give that money to something that's way bigger than any of us could be. So that's awesome news. Again, Monday, I'll actually see you guys again Monday, because Monday is our first ever Ask MD Live Q&A, and I'll be answering some questions that I've gotten throughout the week and be discussing with you guys. And you never know if your question will be up there next. So I'll try to probably go through 3 or 4, and maybe if I don't talk your ear off, I will do like a 10-minute Q&A style question. Did I seal the tank? No, I did not seal the tank. I cleaned it out with muriatic acid and coated it with and just swashed some fuel stabilizer. It's a fuel stabilizer as well as a corrosion inhibitor, and I just kind of worked it around the tank just so it can sit like that for a little bit to see how it would respond. It responded great. Before I did that, I actually let it dry completely because there was a bunch of flakes. Vacuumed out all the flakes. It was bone dry. Swashed some old fuel in it to get any kind of dust material out. Put 2 fuel filters in line, and it has been running like a top ever since. So as long as I keep the gas tank full, it looks like the gas tank has already been sealed, but there's some surface rust that's like come up through it, is what it looks like. But I'm not too concerned about it really. The fuel filters in line will do a great job as long as I keep the gas tank full, so it doesn't get that opportunity for it to rust again, to answer your question. So Monday, I'll see you guys again. It'll be around 8:30, 9 o'clock, so if you have time, tune in. There may be a question on there that you would love to hear the answer to. It's a wide variety of questions, but I'm super excited about that first ever Ask MD Live session. So I'm calling it a night. Thank you guys for all of your support and your encouragement to get this bike done. It's done for now. I'll dive into it with the charging system with you guys, as well as that shift problem, and let you guys know what's going on with it. I double checked everything, make sure everything's tight, and I'm ready to ride it, man. I'm ready to ride it. It's a fun little bike. So without further ado, I'm not going to kill you guys with a long video this time. I'm tired. I'm going to go home and get some sleep, see my wife, kiss her, and go to sleep. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, where I'll be posting some videos throughout the ride, as well as Facebook and so on and so forth. So see you Monday, Savannah. And that's at TheMotorcycleMD. My website's motorcyclemd.com. All my social medias are TheMotorcycleMD. So follow me there. I'll post hopefully some cool stuff on there. And it's Cody from Motorcycle MD, ready to get some sleep. See you guys Monday. Later.